moment of silence before our art begins.
We're live.
And we're live.
Yeah, just like staring.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What
The
could be
moment before the
happening?
live begins, and we are live.
All right. Well,
Good to see you, everyone.
yeah, we are
Hello.
here
Hi.
with Robby Howell to play a quick round of Enclave, the diceless RPG system. Also, just before we get too far into it and we forget, the Kickstarter is still live, and I will link that into the chat probably in the next couple moments. So please go ahead and support an indie developer, and Robby, take it away.
It's wonderful to be here. Thank you guys so much for having me. It was awesome getting a chance to talk to two of you a couple of weeks back, but now I get the full three.
You get the full three.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so
We
I was
saved the
thinking-
best for last.
yeah. quite.
Oh, thank you.
Last time you were but a ghost, and now we have you here in the internet flesh. I say that we just dive in and get straight to character creation. Yeah, internet flesh is a terrible word.
Yeah, no, it's a really...
Putting that down as a focus word. What's a focus word? I'll be getting to that momentarily.
Google Internet Flash Rule 34.
No, please do not.
Please, no.
For browser's sake, do not.
Yeah. So for Enclave, we're going to do quick character creation, and then we're going to jump in and do a mission straight away.
Nice.
To begin this process, you have all picked out classes. Could you please give me a brief idea of what class you'll be playing, and pull open a notepad doc, Google Doc, piece of paper, whatever the fuck you can put like a character sheet on, and you will be good. Awesome.
Gunslinger.
Great.
Illusionist.
My name is Chris, and I am going to be your wanderer today.
Okay, perfect. Classic group. And next thing we're going to do is we are going to determine your character's personality. Personality is quite important in Enclave, but it is not like wildly prescriptive. It's giving you pillars to base your character acting upon. Personality is based on traits. You can find a list of these on the character creation page, which is page, I believe it's 11 in the written rule set. It might be more like 13-ish in the PDF viewer. There's a little chart at the bottom that says personality traits. And you're going to get 3 such personality traits. And of those, 2 of them, actually I was wrong, it's page 9 on the document, it's 13 in the PDF viewer. But of your 3 personality traits, you only have to worry about picking one of them, because 2 of them are determined by your class. Each class specializes in 2 stats. So for the gunslinger, it's skill and sensory. And so what you do is you would get the 2 personality traits correlating to those stats. So for skill, it's confident. For sensory, it's alert. Similarly, illusionist, you have sensory and arcane. So that's alert and ambitious. And then for wanderer, you have luck and vitality. That would make you carefree and indulgent. And then the 3rd trait, you can pick from any of that set of 12 on the personality traits chart on page 9. I'd say go for whatever looks most fun or most interesting or fits your vision best. Let me know when you have that and we'll move on.
Indulgent.
Awesome.
I went with intelligence, so opinionated.
Perfect.
Carefree.
You actually already have carefree. You have carefree and indulgent off of luck and vitality. So give me a 3rd.
Let's go for warm.
Awesome.
Oh, we're gonna
spirit.
clash so hard, Chris. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Next
Bring it
up is your
on.
stats. We have 12 stats in Enclave. Seems like a lot, but you don't have to worry about most of the time. Stats are improved using pluses. Each plus is a substantial jump in terms of the stats utility. Your stats, you have 6 pluses you can distribute among all those 12 stats, but 4 of them are already spoken for. So we'll go through those. Remember, your class specializes in 2 stats, one more than the other. You get 3 pluses assigned between those stats. So for the gunslinger, they specialize in skill and sensory. Skill more than sensory, so they get 2 pluses to skill, 1 to sensory. For the illusionist, it would be double sensory, single arcane. And for the wanderer, double luck, single vitality. Then your 4th plus goes to whatever the stat is of the trait you picked. So for the gunslinger, you picked vitality, the vitality trait of indulgent, so you'd get a plus to your vitality. Same too with spirit on our wanderer and intelligence on our illusionist. Those last 2 pluses can go into any stat, one you have, one you don't have, but you cannot bring a given stat higher than 3 for now. When you level, you can. The stats are generally pretty straightforward. Some of the more esoteric ones are coupled to specific game mechanics. I'm happy to go into detail about those if you'd like, but they are also easily summarized on the fly while we play. I'd say one of the ones that is probably most important to mention, given that we have a wanderer on the mission, is the luck stat. Luck in Enclave works very specifically by pitching. Yeah, exactly right. You get to pitch an element of the game, the story, the plot, something that's going on. Let me know whenever you're good on your stat builds.
I'm going to go with resilience and will as the extras.
Oh, cool. Resilience Illusionist is a really unusual and cool build. You can do a lot with it.
Can you add a plus to a stat that you already have from the
Yes, you
build?
can.
As long as it doesn't go over 3, right? So
Exactly right.
all right, let's just pump up my luck and my vitality. Classic.
Put 1 extra into skill and then add 1 in reflex.
Done. Next is your gear. Classes on the second page of your classes sheet. They have 2 gear rosters, the default and elective. You get all 3 pieces of default gear and get to pick 1 piece of elective gear. Class gear has cool magical effects that bolster whatever the item actually does in real life. So, for example, a gunslinger's revolver is like a real-life Colt 45, you know what I mean? But it also has the magical effect of boosting the user's hand speed while operating the weapon. And other items, especially ones that on their surface might not be nearly as useful as a Colt 45, like the Wanderer's Walking Stick, have substantially stronger magical effects. The Wanderer's Walking Stick makes you appear like less of a threat if the stick is your only visible means of defense. And that, it turns out, is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me know whenever you have picked your elective gear choice.
I'm going with folding fan.
The folding fan is default. You have
Oh, wait.
all of your
Which one?
listed
Oh,
default
hand
gear,
mirror.
and you get to pick
Sorry.
one piece of
Sorry,
oh,
hand mirror is
mirror.
the
No problemo.
Okay, I have my nostrum. I have instead of 1 vial, I'm gonna have like 3 different vials that have like 3 different effects. So
Perfect. Yep, that's something we'll be getting to in a moment as well, which is skinning, but we'll leave that.
The Sharps Rifle.
Sharp's Rifle. Awesome. Next thing is your abilities. Good news. No choices to make. You have all of them. You have all listed abilities, no choices to be made. Don't feel like you have to exactly know what these do. You'll be able to, I'll talk you through them on the fly if need be. But just know you have all of those tools available to you. And lastly is your character's name, appearance, and background. This is one of the secretly most important steps. Appearance and background are incredibly important in Enclave, but that doesn't mean you have to have them super fleshed out. You can have as little as like a couple words for each, and that's fine because you're able to add to your appearance and background as you play, so long as things you come up with, 1, make sense, 2, aren't too convenient for the situation. Oh yeah, I happen to be a fighter pilot. Yeah, fuck off. And 3, you commit to them from then on. And the thing with appearance is Enclave, taking place in an infinite world, has no predefined world building and no preset tech level even. You can reskin your character's appearance and all of their gear to be from any time period, any aesthetic you want, so long as they keep the same mechanical functionality. So if you want your gunslinger to be a space cowboy and you want his revolver to instead be a laser gun that shoots frickin' lasers, that's fine. It just can't hit harder than a Colt 45.
All I want is freaking sharks with freaking lasers.
I know. Can we have sharks with lasers?
Funny, I was thinking that exact same thing.
Because we're nerds.
Let me.
Background.
Yeah.
And in terms of things like your gear's skin, again, how your gear looks, like I said, as long as it keeps the same mechanical functionality, it's totally fine. So if you want to say your nostrum is a set of 3 vials instead, perfect. Yeah, no problem at all. So
I figured it was gonna work that way.
Yeah, exactly. And let me know whenever you are good on your character's name, appearance, and background.
Sandra, do you want to go? Do you have an idea?
Sure do. My character's name is going to be Eldona. In appearance, it's Aldona.
Yep.
In appearance, instead, like for the standard gear for the wizard hat. It's going to be more like one of those kind of head scarves, where not covering all the hair, but like kind of like think peasant, kind of like somebody who comes from a village. So that's kind of her appearance, like a lot of like textiles that are like woolen, things like that. But she wears her like kind of customary village garb as a like a disarming thing, as a disguising thing from what she can do. Um, Coming out from the back of her headscarf is just thick black hair that she braids, to complete that look. So very unassuming. You wouldn't even like see her in the crowd, kind of a thing. But her eyes are the piercing one. The one thing she can't hide is those like deep blue eyes.
Excellent. And what is her background?
Uh,
If you need a
background.
moment, you can take the moment.
All right.
Her aesthetic lends me in a certain direction, but I certainly wouldn't assume it.
Okay, where's the background information? That I somehow missed when I was.
I think that's something that you build.
You come up with it. You get to say every single
Oh,
piece of it.
okay. I was
entirely by
make sure I
yourself.
didn't miss like
what-
something on
where
the.
did she come- like, no, totally. Yeah. What is her background? What's her experience? What was she doing before joining the Enclave and even during her like Enclave employment?
So despite her her keeping the appearance of her village, she is like kicked out. Like people in her village would have like dubbed her like a witch. You know, I even like had the name of what they'd call her. So if she curses at somebody, she uses this name, a Timpinia, or a wild witch. So they're just very untrustworthy where she comes from, because you don't want somebody who can suddenly do these magical bizarre things that they don't understand. So so instead she tries to become stronger. She hunts for other magic things, other magic tech, things like that, to be stronger, to never be in that situation again where she can't defend herself from a crowd, kind of a thing. So when the Enclave came knocking, she's like, oh, this is a way to become more powerful.
Perfect. Who do we have next? Do either of you two have your characters down?
Yep, I'm good.
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. My character's name is Chatterman.
Mhm.
So just spelled chatter and men. And yes, I'd say that he is a dapper gentleman in his mid-50s with graying hair and a matching mustache and beard. He has just like Aldona, striking blue eyes, but with a tinge of mischievous glee.
Thought you were gonna say just like Aldona, she's also got a waxed mustache.
Oh, did I forget to mention that?
As an illusionist, that's not a hard ask.
Yeah, right.
True. That is true.
Boom, boom, poof.
She also wears fine silken garments of royal blues, purples, and white that all show signs of dirt and fraying and patched tears. In his left hand, he has a slim black cane with a panther skull atop of it.
Cool. What is his
All right.
background?
He's been on too many missions for him to remember. He left the lap of luxury, and he just felt that he could not be tied down to one place at one time. He refuses most of the benefits from the Enclave, like all the extra gifts, as the adventure itself is kind of what he's after.
Fun. And lastly, Jay, what do you got?
I'll be my character's name is Chance. I'm a fading old kind of bounty hunter. Think kind of the ugly from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Eli Wallach meets Jeff Bridges from, just kind of like a bit slovenly, rotund, kind of like getting too old for this shit. Kind of once really great, like iconic, sharpshooter. Now like kind of fading out. Oh, one day out from retirement, who also fought the undead in a parallel Earth or something like that.
Sick. These are perfect characters. Nicely done. Very clean, very fun. And now we're going to come up with a mission. And Enclave missions are created on the spot, spontaneously. Now, I will say, I've been doing this for a long time. If it's your first time, I'd recommend giving yourself some time to do this. But it's more fun for me to do it on the fly, and so because of that, we're going to take what are called focus words from all of you. A focus word is any word or short phrase, anything. Doesn't have to be tied to your character, any fucking thing. And I'm going to use those as inspiration to create a mission for you on the spot. Of note, again, Enclave takes place in an infinite world called Manifold. Your characters all come from their own little pockets across Manifold, which through your backstories you have defined, and they are now canon. But every time you are sent on a mission, you're being sent to a place where presumably you have never been before. Completely new. Though again, for a class like the Wanderer that can
Maybe.
muddle with the plot, you can
Yeah.
that can sometimes change. So yes, focus words. Any each of you give me one word or short phrase. There is nothing not on the table. Although I will say, make sure that the tone that you want out of the mission matches the tone of your focus words. If you give me goofy focus words and you want a serious mission, you're probably not getting one.
Microwaved peeps. No, I'm just joking.
I was about to write it down.
Jousting.
Don't.
For some reason, hairspray was the first word that came to my mind, but I don't want to use that word. No, that's not my joke.
We're messing with them.
I'll give it this time. I take these very literally. I got Taco Bell as a focus word.
Yeah.
I was like, you make it work.
Someone was hungry. I'm gonna throw
Mission
my word
involves
in
a lot
there.
of poop, I'll tell you.
Oh gosh. My word's going to be filigree.
Beautiful. I love that word. I already have ideas. Next.
Howling Stone.
Oh, that's a cool one.
Jay's gonna be
Go,
Jay.
Look at Jay. Look at that smile. That's
Shitty grin. Bowling.
Awesome. that one got pulled out of you.
Bowling with a howling stone.
Oh, when the GM laughs like that, you know you're in for a roll of
Eye
pain.
bracer.
Oh god. All right. So while I am quickly taking a couple notes for this, do you guys have any questions about the game before we start? It's very intuitive. You'll pick it up easily, but I'm happy to answer things before if you have them.
Just we'll give you the time you need to think about it. Yeah, just
Deep end it. Deep end it.
Yeah, deep end it.
Okay. If you are sure, in that case, I actually think I'm good to go. I think I have all I need. Okay.
Sweet.
In this case, you are being sent to a wondrous shop that is run by a woman named Enich Harlow. Enich Harlow is a renowned inventor who, in her youth, even worked for the Enclave and is now retired from her work. However, after a rather illustrious career, she has retired to go back to her roots, being effectively like an extremely high-class peddler. But in her time of being a peddler and working in the Enclave, she acquired all sorts of cool artifacts from all around Manifold that, now she's capitalizing on and trying to make bank by selling unbelievably rare curios in her homeworld. And it turns out that sometimes that's a really bad idea. She has come across, she came across it a while ago, but one of these curios that she's been trying to sell, it turns out has way deeper implications than she ever could have imagined. It is a unassuming object, a small, perfectly spherical little orb, about yay big, and the only things that she noted about it is, given that she has a good amount of experience with magical artifacts, is that it's probably a communication device of some kind, and it has an incredibly sophisticated cipher, quote unquote. Not technological cipher, but like a magical code or resonance or key that made so she could not crack it and figure out what was inside of it. She called it the clacking stone, given that it just made kind of like a sort of clicking noise when you hold it to your ear. And she kind of forgot about it for, a decade or so. But the clacking stone has not forgotten about her. And the whole time, it was signaling.
Oh.
And the people it was signaling for have finally caught up to it after a decade. And so your mission is as such. You're being sent to Anicharlo's shop to protect her from the incoming raid of reasonably sophisticated soldiers. I say reasonably sophisticated. They're lower tech level than her, but they are wildly higher competency than her or the people that her homeland is used to, and they're coming out of frickin' nowhere. And so not only do you need to protect her, you are going to need to find the clacking stone lost in her shop. Because getting to the raiders is the only way they are going to leave her alone. Questions?
Have we heard of this clacking stone before? Is it sort of like renowned throughout the multiverse kind of thing?
Nope. This is a footnote, even in the history of its own homeland. But it does have very profound implications there. You can think of it. What's a good analogy? I don't even think there would be a good analogy here. It would only have been known, even in its place of origin, to the very upper crust and their closest confidants and bodyguards, who, as it happens, have contracted the raid that is coming here.
Who are these raiders?
These are people from the land of Genoran. They are Jene people. And they are known for a couple of things. First of all, they have a very powerful line of warrior queens. And of those, there is going to be one potential royal family member girl who is going to be leading the onslaught as its most dangerous soldier. The soldiers are zealously loyal to this royal bloodline. Second thing that Genoran is known for is the use of wyverns. They have an air force, and so you will have to be ready for flying enemies. Though, admittedly, these are not wyverns that breathe fire or anything like that. They're just like horse-sized dragon that can fly quite fast and is quite agile. Also of note, these are from a relatively late medieval sort of background, whereas Anicharlo is more kind of Edwardian in her tech level with a whole lot of magic. Wildly magical society, but also an almost completely disarmed society that is certainly not ready for a whole bunch of medieval brigands to come rumbling through.
Is there a chance that at some point in Chance's drunken reverie he had either a tryst with N.A. Charlo or one of the Genoran queens that he's forgotten about?
I would say Chatterman's ability familiar face makes that way more likely for him. For Chance himself, I'm going to give that a absolute no, though maybe he would have briefly seen Anicharlo at the Enclave.
Well,
that probably be a good guess.
perhaps it was the three of us all together one time. It's been a long time, Chance. It has been a long time. Do you remember that passionate night?
My belt size has grown three holes since the last time we met. Ping!
Disgusting.
So yeah, to answer your question, I think Chatterman is the only person here who could have any hope of something like that, and that's only because of the ability familiar face.
Yep. Gotcha.
Other questions?
How large is this shop?
Excellent question. It's bigger on the inside, first of all.
Uh-oh.
The shop itself is from the outside like a cramped townhouse that's in the midst of a busy high street. On the inside,
it's like Costco.
It's like Costco. More like IKEA.
3 stories tall, with each story being like a small CVS in terms of its size, but it's very cramped and it doesn't have nice laid out aisles. It's a rather claustrophobic place full of cool stuff.
So it's Don Quixote in Japan.
Yeah. That's how they get.
I saw a video about that.
It's a nightmare. Yeah. That's how they get you. That's how they get you.
The theme music and all.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
How likely are we to get the shop owner to describe anything more about the stone? Is it clear? Does it reflect light? Does it absorb light?
The Enclave can actually give you a picture of it.
Oh,
they can actually show you exactly
perfect.
what it looks like. And what you would see is that the clacking stone looks kind of like a bocce ball, if you're familiar with those.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's small, grayish, has a couple of like white lines traced around it, but nothing is wildly eye-popping. Annie Charlo is pretty sure it is. It has like it's not completely solid. It has like something inside that allows it to make the clacking noise, but she isn't sure. And it was always kind of a low prio for her because it's not a very pretty or like exciting looking thing. So she kind of threw it on the whatever pile, and you know, I'll get
Yeah.
around to it when I get around to
Yeah,
it.
I got a time machine in the back room. I never used it. I put a drink on it, you know.
One other thing I can mention, this is actually quite important. Annie Charlo, given that she worked for the Enclave, she knows how missions can be, and she's much more concerned about her life than anything else here. Collateral damage, completely fine.
Mhm.
Um, doesn't matter to her. She begs that you make sure that her neighbors are minimally affected by this.
Oh, okay.
It's not like it's an instant mission fail if a neighbor's shop gets bashed or like a window gets shot out or something. But if like one of her neighbors dies or something, that could be a mission fail.
I guess have we done any recon on this group of Genorians such that we've done our due diligence to prepare, projectiles that might be armor piercing, etc., etc.
Hmm. So the Enclave can give you a little bit of intel on them. It's not going to be a huge group, and they're probably going to come in a couple of waves. They have ground troops, and they do have at least 3 wyverns. Their armor is very good for their homeland. It's nothing that that Chance's guns won't be able to deal with the one exception of their leader, who again is royal. Her name is Sasuen, and her armor that she wears is enchanted, and as such, while Chance might be able to get through it, it'll be substantially harder than everyone else's. Um, so have to get a little creative with getting through that, but it still should be breakable if you can get good shots in.
The group should be more worried about if Chance even brought the bullets along, or he had forgotten them because he's completely hungover at the moment. He's too much wild
He has
turkey last night.
bandolier.
Yeah, he's got a bandolier. That's right.
Final questions.
What sort of things are in the shop other than like is it just anything that we can think of?
It is a wildly varied area, like curios at like you wouldn't believe. But she does also have a good amount of local stuff that, in addition to all the wild weird shit, is more reliable. You can think of it um, like a watchmaker, but imagine if watches at this tech level could be magically engineered to do other useful things as well. Many of which would defy logic. Like as a random example, she has a device that is worn on the wrist that means that you do not have to drink water throughout the day. It magically hydrates you at a regular schedule. Little useful things that only rich people would really be able to afford where she is from.
Okay.
Got like a hydrating Fitbit.
Yeah, exactly. It's little bits of cool jewelry that do little magical day-to-day conveniences.
Exactly.
Sorry, can we hear this clacking sound?
If you were to put the stone right up to your ear.
Okay.
Should get me one of them earrings that makes me look a little bit 20 pounds lighter. Scratch, 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 scratch.
And with that, I think we are good to begin. Normally, we would do what is called assembly, where your characters get to gather together to briefly discuss strategy and meet each other. For interest of time, we are going to skip that today. And instead, you guys are going to be ported straight onto the mission. However, your characters will all have been given a briefing by the Enclave of who each other are. So it's not going to be like, oh my god, who are you? Like
Well,
you'll know the faces and the rough capacities of those involved.
I do know both these people, so it should not be a problem.
For other characters, it's fine to be like, oh yeah, it's you. Like we've gone back a little bit. Or something like that. That is fine by me.
I am not doing
however,
that.
Everything that we just went over is known to you in character. Like all of the information, all the Q&A, your characters will have that information. And so with that, your characters are teleported from their various homes across Manifold to Enclave HQ at its center. It's a vast building complex. It's huge, it's beautiful, it's grand. It's somewhere between like a Gothic cathedral and like a neo-modern high-rise, but decorated only in shades of gray. with the only pops of color being other agents like yourselves. As you walk throughout its labyrinthine hallways, led by faceless attendants, you are each brought to a small, dim chamber, wherein there lays a single gleaming pad upon the floor. A disembodied voice would speak into your ear, "Agent, take your place upon the telepad." And as you do so, you would feel a tingling sensation beginning in your feet, working its way up your legs, leaving them asleep in its wake. When the tingling passes your stomach, your guts churn violently, and then you no longer feel them. When it passes your chest, your heart flutters, and then you no longer feel it beat. And when it passes your eyes, your vision explodes into ribbons of color. There is a buzzing in your ears. The world falls away, and then there is nothing. But as quickly as the sensation comes, it leaves, and you find yourselves in the entrance way, like the two-door entryway to the shop. Just to your right, there is the door leading out onto the high street. It is currently night, though it is well lit by a high moon, and it's not particularly cold. The high street is not gloomy at night. There's still a little bit of illumination, and the shops are pleasant and well colored and decorated. To your left, inside of this particular shop, you can see that there's only a few small lights that are lit, revealing the wild silhouettes of the great aisles and shelves of all sorts of interesting contrivances. And you would also see a little, like, golden top to a head, brilliantly platinum blonde, bobbing around just underneath the front desk. Immediate actions upon porting in. We will begin with Chance.
I just
Not a
vomit.
common
I
reaction.
vomit. That doesn't get any easier as I lean up against the wall, and I was just like, before I got teleported in, I was in all forms of like awful revelry.
Yeah.
And I'm still coming down, and like I'm just like I take a little flask and I take a swig of it, and I'm sort of more like a kung fu master's got like the drunken fighting style. Like I'm a better sharpshooter when I'm a little bit half in the bag, and so
Doc
like I take.
Holliday.
Yeah, like a Doc Holliday type of figure. Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like sweaty and gross, and like on like like the suspenders, one's off, one's on. Like the shirt's like half tucked in, the other one's kind of ruffled out, showing like a big gullet. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
just like there, and like just like got all this shit like over my shoulders and stuff like that. Like one of you two go in first, because I just need to get my bearings.
With the smell of Chance, maybe even making her eyes water. Aldona, immediate actions from you.
When I see him just appear in this predictably disgusting appearance, I just
Don't judge.
arch the eyebrow. But I also know that you are a terrible shot sober. So it's a necessary evil. I take a step back from you and the filth you've left on the ground, and turn to Chatterman. Perhaps we should give him some space. And I just push the door open and enter.
We all got our own working methods, lady.
And Chatterman, first actions from you upon porting in, including responding to Aldona.
Yep. All right. Well, every single place that I've been, I always take a bit of a second to breathe the air and almost like taste the air, as every location I go to has a different feel, has a different like kind of like aroma, smell, taste to the world.
course.
So I'll take a moment and just almost like as a ritual, like spend like the first couple of seconds just breathing.
Not
and then
there.
what I'll
Not
do is
there. Away from him. Not
Frank
there.
and beans.
I'll look down and I'll wipe the vomit off of my shoe that he vomited right on top of with the backside of the other pant leg, and with
Apologies.
that I'll say to him, yes, I know that's your thing. Well, let us head in and let's see where we will go with that.
Rub it on the back of his duster as he walks in.
And also of note, given that you got a brief glimpse of the area's like sensory profile before the stank of Chance blinded you to it, this place has a lovely tone and smell to it. It smells somewhere between like a pleasant old house and like a spice market. It's enjoyable. It's rich. It's lively, and it
Perhaps
has
I'll
a
spend
vintage feel.
an extra 2 seconds
Hmm.
savoring the aroma
Quite.
of the world and not of chance. So with
Yes,
that,
indeed.
walk through those doors, immediately take out a what looks like a almost like a long cigarette and start to smoke, despite
Hmm.
knowing there may or may not be restrictions on that. So
Quite. Now, as Aldona opens the door, you know how shops have like the little dingle bell that plays? Instead of that, it sounds like bird song, and embedded within the bird song, almost like two-tonal music, you hear a voice pleasantly singing that there are guests here, and even stating your appearances. Saying,
ooh,
a lady with a fine headscarf and lovely garments now enters. And then when Chatterman comes here,
That's
a
right.
fine gentleman whose clothes look slightly time traveled is just entered. And
and has
Chance
vomit on
hasn't
his
entered
pant
yet.
leg.
Yes. Chance hasn't entered yet, so there's no necessary profile on that. And as soon as the first one goes off, Aldona would hear like a ow, and then after a moment, you can see that Annie Charlo comes up, rubbing the top of her head, and she is a lady probably in her mid 50s. Again, natural platinum blonde with her hair wildly ringleted in incredibly elaborate, possibly even naturally elaborate sort of hairstyle. She has beautiful clothes on and is resplendent with her own little inventions, these little bits of gadgetry all over her. But she also looks terrified. And you can see that even though she probably did her makeup a little earlier in the day, it's since mostly faded off, probably due to a combination of work, stress, and running around. As she comes up, still rubbing her head, her panic goes to a little bit more calm. She says, "Hi, Enclave, is it?"
Aldona, you need not worry. We are here to aid you.
And
And it's been
as
a long time. I do like what you've done with the place.
Annie Charlo rubs her head and looks around, she says, thank you very much." And she says, they gave you the briefing, I would imagine, and there's not much more that I can add. I'm just trying to find the bloody thing."
You don't happen to remember anything about where you last saw this
Of course, I
Chateau Orb?
remember. I remember where I put it, but just not when I put it there. If it makes sense, could have moved, could have sprouted legs and wandered off, or more likely, I could have just forgotten. She rubs her arm nervously and looks out the window down the high street to see if anyone else is coming.
I kind of like wherever she was just mucking around, like,
Yeah.
banging your head in a familiar space is kind of uncommon, so that kind of sparks a little bit of interest of what she was doing when we walked in. um
Mhm.
so without any like social graces to it, I just kind of come around to where she was and just take a look at everything that she
Yep.
was possibly touching.
You see that she has a. You know how those old timey sewing machines have like the multiple foot pedals on the ground?
Hmm.
Her desk has like a setup similar to that, but it seems to facilitate some sort of typography machine that is spitting out ribbons upon ribbons of text covered paper. And she has a great series of like sheafs, like rolled up sheafs of this under the desk that she was clearly midway through unrolling, maybe checking stock records or something like that.
Explain this
Chance
thing.
is like
I
has
just
wandered into the back, like the lobby, and he's just like weirdly looking at like pulls out like one thing, just curious, but it's like happens to be stacked with like a bunch of other ones that like then all sort of collapse onto the ground, and then he just like puts it back and like.
You would hear the doors saying, "A haphazard gentleman smelling of sick has just entered the premises."
Rip. Can I pull the bell off the door?
Yeah, you could pull the little like decoration off it.
Yeah, pank. Shut it.
We will repair that a little bit later.
And Annie Charlo looks. She doesn't look askance at Chance, but she tries not to look at him. Is probably a better way of putting it. Uh,
And then the way I respond is sort of like it's like an echo of like when he used to be like my lady, like he like flicks the hat or whatever, but it's just kind
Yeah.
of like he just it's weird. he's gross. He's kind of tries to give it like a he kind of gives it like a milady, but it's just like, meh.
And pardon, I think Aldona had a thing as well. Then back to Chatterman.
I'm just trying to sort of like intimidate her a little bit. So
Yeah.
even if I sort of understand what the machine that she was messing with likely is, explain what this is to me. What is the meaning of this thing?
Oh, I see. Well, this takes record of all of the transactions that I make. It takes record of my stocking. It takes record of many of the other um, procedures that I have here at the shop. But there's just so
I'm watching
many
her
of them.
eyes as she's doing this.
She is either a very nervous person or is very nervous in the moment, or there's something else going on, but her eyes jump all over the place as she's talking, and she twiddles her fingers in the ringlets of her hair.
If she goes back
And she says,
to any spot more than once, that is the first thing I'm going to go look at as soon as she's not around.
there is one thing that she keeps looking at, which is out the window towards the high street.
Yeah, I think despite Chance's aloofness, he's keeping an eye out to the street with like the high noon, make
Yeah.
make sure none of them hombres come run down here. Huh? Mumble, 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 mumble.
Speak Metro, man.
And Chatterman, actions you would like to take, including
All right.
conversation with Enicharlo.
Right. With that, I would wander over to where Chance had like broken off that front part of the door.
I give him the piece. I give it to him.
I'll take the piece and I'll wander back over towards Aldona, and I'll say, "It's been a long time since we've last met. How are your family?"
Aldona, your teammate, or Enicharlo, your employer?
Wait,
Sorry?
repeat that. I didn't hear it through the call.
Are you referring to Aldona as in your teammate,
No,
or
I'm
Enicharlo, your
to Enicharlo, who likely
yeah,
maybe
thank you,
we had a fling with Chance. Who knows? The rumors, of course.
Are you going to be activating familiar face with this?
I'm gonna activate it in that that I have met her several times before on missions, but also sometimes coming to this actual locale.
Yeah. Okay. And what on what note did you part ways last?
Uh, the last thing that I remember is that we went to a town called Winksworth,
Mhm.
and we ended up getting so sick from having like this dish that they had there called one nut stew, and it just it got us so sick. And last time we were just like consoling each other.
Yep. I'm going to add one thing to this use of familiar face, right? The one thing I will add is that Annie Charlo considers Chatterman to be more than a little bit of a bum, and has had to be the one paying for almost every one of their outings. And with that, with the familiar face going off, Annie Charlo, as she's playing with her hair, would glance over towards Chatterman and give kind of a little smile and say, "Well, it was considerate of them to send someone that I knew, at least."
Yes, well, you know that we are here to help you. Can you please fix this up and reply this to the door? And
He says, "Yeah, maybe it's best I do that a little bit later. I'm not sure I quite want to
no,
be that
I disagree. I do believe that we may be having guests, and it would be in our best interest to know who is coming in.
I know, Chatterman, but she looks again over towards the door and she says, "Fine, fast." And she starts to like hurry out and kind of push past Aldona to get towards the front door.
While that's happening, though, I'll continue to walk with her towards the door and then continue, chatting it up. But in the meantime, kind of like glancing around, already doing my inventory of what is in this location.
Yeah, absolutely. Given that there's so much, so much
Yep.
stuff, give me some ideas of the sort of things that would be catching Chatterman's eye, or that he might be generally looking for.
Maybe kind of like a what are those called? They're like those footstools, but one that automatically adjusts to wherever you place your feet.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, just like
Yeah.
it moves to where it's needed.
An ottoman?
There's also yes. I was trying to figure. I forgot the word for that.
Yeah. I absolutely love the idea of like a little ottoman that makes itself needed where it is. And given your triple plus to luck, I am totally okay with that being
Hey,
just fully
yeah.
defined. Yeah, and so you would see it kind of galloping up towards where Inicharlo is, just going towards the door, given that she is too short to reach the top by herself.
Nice.
And any other details that Chatterman would be looking for before I jump back to Chance and then to Aldona?
Knowing that we could have like creatures that can fly, anything that could potentially lift us up into the air should we require it. Like say like magic carpets,
Mm.
things like that, or like a winged suits.
Yep. And in that case, I actually not only do I think that's a great thing to ask, but also there is something that would make a lot of sense for her to have here. There is she has a few by the door. It's one of her best sellers. It is a backpack with a goofy helicopter thing coming out the top.
Awesome.
Uh,
I will
and
take a note of that.
Absolutely. And as you do so, jumping over to Chance and then to Aldona. What would Chance like to do at this point? You said that he's kind of eyeballing outside, hasn't seen any hombres just yet, but what would he like to do?
Yeah, despite his sort of like Slavic appearance and aloofness, there's something of like a Columbo element to him. So he's always kind of like that's part of his now late stage cowboying life is sort of like he looks unassuming, so that gives him the edge. So, but there's also a practicality to it. So he wanders over to any container that could be like opened, and he's just like almost like ferally, like just like sniffing stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like just like
That-
open, like you know.
Yeah, exactly. First sniff would reveal kind of a metal polish sort of thing. The next sniff would be almost like a sulfurous smell that would bring tears to his eyes. The next sniff smells like tobacco, but upon a little lick is definitely not tobacco.
Yeah.
And the fourth one is tea.
That kind of stuff. So and then keeping in mind any like flaming spirits type of things like that, and then like one bottle he'll just take it and just yoink it, just, like, put it right into his duster, just like yep. That's
Hater.
coming back.
As he is pilfering, other things that that Chance would be looking for.
The orb.
The orb.
Please.
He's already forgotten.
Nah, at this point, like I gotta have some value here. So he's looking for like any other entrances or exits besides the one we had come into.
Good.
Yep, absolutely. And given that this place is quite large, stories tall and bigger on the inside, does that mean he's going to be starting to like delve into the store and going up the staircase or down the staircase and hunt towards the back, that sort of thing?
Oh yeah, he's a sharpshooter at heart, so he'd be looking for like the place where like that's where I'd be, you know,
Yeah,
like
upstairs
climb
it
up
is
in
then.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as he's trooping up and about, he has is it a +1 to sensory on him?
Notes sensory, yeah.
Yep, sensory plus. Okay, in that case, two things he would note. First of all, even if as he is like trooping up towards the staircase, he doesn't see a back entrance, he does hear wind from that direction, so probably an open window in the back. As he makes his way upstairs, there is also natural moonlight coming in, and he immediately notices that there are a set of skylights that are up above at this floor. And so quite a few entrances. Clearly a design to try to make as much natural daylight come into this packed place as possible when the daylight is about. Truer words never spoken.
This man has true grit.
Something.
Oh, and the other thing he would hear is he would also hear kind of a buzzing that sounds like a low cello note.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I just wandered off. Like the other two don't even know where I've gone to.
Not at all.
Just a granddad is like, where'd he go?
As he is making his way upstairs, let's jump over to Aldona. Actions that you would like to take. Chatterman is handling Inicharlo. Chances God knows where. What would you like to do?
Okay, well,
Actually, I should note, you know exactly where Chance has gone. You have a double plus to sense.
yeah. Oh, yeah. And I've been keeping track of that. So,
Yeah.
I've been intentionally being rough with the shelves. Like, I'm just pushing things. Like, I'm in somebody's like closet finding that one perfect outfit kind of thing. I don't care about how
Yeah,
messy this can
exactly.
be.
You hear like
So,
like clacking
yeah,
and things falling and being knocked around as
yeah.
you're going through.
And I want the shop owner to know that I'm doing it. I'm like, I'm just going about this. You're gonna have to clean this up later. I'm kind of treating her as she's foolish for letting an artifact like go missing. Like, this is terrible form.
And you would see, even though she doesn't look at you, you would be able to see that every like clack and clock that falls off, you would see her like little like twitches and flinches as as it is happening. And since Chance is doing it too, you get a dose of that as well.
um, as I'm kind of brushing past Chatterman, I just give him a quick whisper: "Keep her down here." I'm assuming you're just going to keep, chatting her up. My goal
And
here.
you remember the time that we were in the swamps of Remola? That was quite a time where your mechanical wonders saved our bottoms good.
And she says,
poor girl.
"Why did you have to bring up the swamps again? I was a single mosquito bite for a week."
Weren't we all? So yes, I will continue just like going on and on about our tales.
Quite, yes.
So my goal is to make noise while Chance is just naturally doing what he has no idea he's doing the right thing by bumbling around up here. But I want her to think that we are rapidly searching this shop. And then I don't know if you want to hold the action for right now, but my goal. Okay. So as soon as it's clear that I've like been in like every corner of this place, I want to use my phantasm and create the closest proximity to the orb that we know it looks like, and just declare.
You would have had the full from the Enclave, so you could absolutely get it. A quick note though, before we get all the way to that point, as you are searching high and low, are you going to all three floors, basement, upstairs, and center?
Yes. Yeah, I need to make noise in all three places to make that believable.
Absolutely. Second thing, any sort of things that you might be, besides like, oh, there it is, like any sort of random things that you'd be happening to look for or be on lookout for as you are ranging through?
Wearables, because she specifically seems to deck her out in that, and that tends to be, in my opinion.
You found those.
Making magical devices small and portable and wearable is like a higher form of magic in my opinion. So if there's something that seems like it could be particularly useful to me in the future, I will absolutely pocket anything of that nature, especially if we're about to come into contact with these creatures. I want advantages, so I have no qualms with stealing from her.
Yeah, literally just like pocketing whatever happens to be on hand that seems useful as you're going by. You obviously only have a certain amount of pocket space, and also finite knowledge of how exactly to use these things, but certainly can't hurt.
Oh yeah.
So we'll get to what exactly those are if and when they become relevant. One other question, then one other note. Are you moving fast?
Am I what?
Are you moving fast? Like just trying to get through the shop as quick as you can?
Yes. Yeah, I want to resolve this before we have the chance of this invasion force to come in. So fast enough that I'm not going to actually like upend something that will explode on us, right? Like I'm being careful enough not to do what Chance is doing, basically.
Right.
But my goal is just to pull off this ruse. So I'm going fast.
And the last note I would make is when you were in the basement, because are you going to go up to the second floor first or go down to the basement first from the first floor? Because Chance went up. Are you going to go down?
I'll go down, because if he winds up getting up to the top floor and I just head up there. Yeah, I'll do basement first. Yep. That makes sense.
We're so smart, guys. Immediately split the party.
Yeah!
As you would do so, by the way, getting to the basement, you would also hear that low cello note. You have good enough sensory that when you're kind of passing the second floor staircase, you would have maybe caught like a little strain of it from up. But as you get to the basement, not only do you hear it, you hear from two different directions, and they're at slightly different tones. It's subtle. It's the sort of thing that without double plus sensory, you might not have picked it out. But it's present for sure. Any actions you'd like to take in regard to that, or are you going to just keep on your pillaging?
I think that there's zero chance that I would ignore it. That's bizarre. That's especially if there's like a bit of a triangulation thing going on. So I
Unless the
will.
shop plays like Penderecki background music
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, I'll with caution, of course, because for some reason I'm just not trusting the situation we've been sent into here. I'm not a trusting person, so that's not surprising.
Quite.
But this is a little strange that anybody would put up with this sound. So I will definitely investigate it, but not too long.
Yep, absolutely. And your ears quickly bring you to the source. Imagine like a stair railing post, but standing alone. I guess a chess bishop would be maybe a more accurate description of what it looks like.
Mm.
Stands about chin height. It's quite a beautiful thing. It's see through, a bit of an elaborate spire like design with, again, that bishop ish silhouette. Has a faint internal light, but it also has little artifacts draped across it. And there's almost like it has little like brackets that you can pull out of it to hang things on. So you can think of it somewhere between like a hat rack
Mm.
and like a post as described, but quite beautiful, quite elaborate, making this strange noise, and see through with a faint glow to it. Though there are little artifacts in the glow, almost like smudges on top of a camera lens.
Hmm. I'm not going to touch it. Um, but I will as I if I don't get anything else more that sparks something that I might have studied or learned or seen on some other mission. If nothing comes to mind, I'm definitely going to just make some like snarky quip, like
Mm.
I believe you'd sell more of these trinkets if your displays didn't make that obnoxious noise, and just see what the reaction.
Are you trying to say this upstairs to her? Because this would you're
Yeah,
downstairs at this
when I
point, so
come
if you
back
wanna
up.
see her,
Yeah,
when you come
yeah,
back
yeah,
up, that makes
exactly.
total sense. Um, and before we go further with that, let's jump over to Chatterman and then to Chance. Chatterman, as you continue to blab, and she continues to be kind of distracted from what she's doing to like respond to you here and there, she finally fixes the thing, conjuring beautiful little threads of magical artifice to connect it back into place. And eventually, she turns around and says, "Are you working or is this a social call?"
Can't it be a little bit of both?
And she says, "Why can you never take anything seriously? I feel as though every single time we get into some awful pickle, like in those terrible swamps, you're just there and you're happy and nothing is ever the matter with you. Can you just stop being so insufferably lucky or so insufferably carefree? One of the two, please."
Now, that is part of the charm. That is part of the Chatterman charm. I will say, as I start to rearrange some things, I taken note of that stack of that trinkets that Chance had knocked over, and I'm
Yep.
actually trying to recreate it so that even the slightest touch will knock over a
Knocked
whole
over
bunch of
them.
things. But I'll just leave it there. So while I'm continuing to talk on, I will continue to arrange things around where she is, even though
You feel
they may
you
be
feel
things that she
her
doesn't want
hand on
to.
your yeah, you feel her hand on your shoulder, and she has kind of big eyes when you look around. She says, "Did you come here because you're getting paid, or did you come here because you wanted to help? Please, I just need to know."
I can assure you that I take no monetary gain out of this.
And she says, "So you are coming to help me?"
A little bit of A and a little bit of B.
Straight
Don't
answer,
worry.
please.
I have found in my travels there are no straight answers. There is no black or white. There is no good nor evil.
Yes,
It is all about perspective.
except when it comes to not having packed insect repellent in the swamps. Is that correct?
Ah,
Because then
that was
there is
a
a black or white answer. The black answer is that we're getting bitten, and it's mostly going to be me.
but we got a story out of it. And sometimes those are worth more than the pain that we felt at that time.
She's opening her mouth to argue when she gives a little and like tucks herself behind Chatterman, and like her arm sticks out from around him, pointing out the window. She says, "Who's that?" And you can see that there's
Ah,
a fellow out on the high street. He's wearing a heavy coat. He has a backpack over his shoulder, a little fiddle sticking around it, and he's moseying along, looking between the shops.
does that look at all like the what is it, the Genorans that we know of? Or
You were
certainly they would
given
not.
a little bit of an image of the Genorans. In terms of like, you can see him in the moonlight, and he does appearance-wise look like he could be Janoran. The thing that really puts it out, though, is his clothing is very atypical for this, and it's not the sort of thing that Chance or Aldona would know. But given that Chatterman, based
I've
on
been
Familiar
around.
Face, has actually been here, yeah, this guy is wearing what in this area would be like criminal clothes, like bum clothes, but he doesn't have any sort of furtiveness to him.
All right. In the direction that he's headed, is it like making a beeline right at us
He's not
at the
making a
store?
beeline, but he's going in the general direction for sure, and is clearly acting. You have a plus to spirit, right?
I do.
Yeah, in that case, you'd actually be able to pick off of his gait that he is trying to act natural. Admittedly, he's pretty good at it, but he's acting
Not good enough.
quite.
Turtleneck and swimming shorts. It's criminal.
Man,
Yeah,
people with
God,
turtlenecks.
The turtleneck strikes again.
On this street.
With that, I will say, if you do not mind, I do need to speak with one of my companions.
I
Not
was
knowing.
about to say, if you were going to go out and speak with him, I would have smacked you. We don't want to be pulling them directly. That's one of them, right? That's one of the ones who's coming to get me, right?
We do not know for certain, but I do believe we should be aware of who they are.
That means the answer is yes.
I'll head towards.
As I come up the
Aldona?
stairs, I go, "Why are they after you? I thought they were after the orb." I
She
pick
says,
up that.
Well, if they can't find the orb, then they're after me, aren't they? And if you can't find it, and if I can't find it, they will most likely not be able to find it. Aldona, did you want to mention the thing that you were going to mention at this point as well?
Yeah, as soon as she stops that like little like kind of panicked little diatribe, I'm like, I give her that statement. You'd sell more trinkets if you.
And she says, "What? It's simply a recharging node. It's nothing to be concerned about. In fact, it shouldn't even be on right now."
This poor woman, we're a bunch of assholes.
Well, you might want to take
Speak
care of
for
that
yourself.
then.
Okay.
She says, "There's a recharging node on?
Fair enough.
Yes, quite downstairs.
I should probably go fix that." And
I will saddle up to
Chatterman-
Aldona, right?
Yeah.
And I'll say in a quiet note, I do believe we should find Chance. We do have a turtleneck on his way.
Then find him, and you could tell that I'm about to start, like,
Yeah.
casting. I very much want to shoot. The ability where I can kind of look through her eyes and see the senses.
Viewpoint.
Yeah, viewpoint. I want to very much do that as she goes down the stairs to deal with the device.
Absolutely. And you would see that Aldona's eyes close, and she gets a even more forbidding appearance about her. Would Chatterman start heading upstairs towards Chance?
So I wouldn't know where he went, but I'd follow the mess, right?
Okay,
And wherever,
Oh my
wherever
God.
I will follow my nose.
So filthy.
I was gonna say between that, the mess, and also again with a plus to spirit, people leave a signature, so to speak, when they move about. Chance has an aura to him, shall we say? And it's not
that
a
he
hard one to
does.
pick out. Before we go further, however, let's catch up
Cool
with what
water.
Chance has been doing upstairs. As Chance makes his way to the
Oh, no.
second floor,
I'm just having a quick 5 minutes. I got the thing. I was like, okay, all right.
Oh my God.
and it would be Chance that hears it first, given the other two are focused. He hears the strains of fiddle music outside.
Wake up, I bring myself over to the ledge. Gonna look over. Instinctively
and-
put the rifle over to the side. Just gonna peer off.
Yeah, I'm looking out the second floor windows. You know when windows are like almost inset into the floor, so they're not really at eye level; they're kind of
Yeah.
below. So the windows on the second floor here are of that nature, and you can see right down below that there is a man out on the streets. Chance wouldn't know this, but it's the one that the others saw down below, who is standing not right outside, but quite close to Enicharlo's business. He is playing a fiddle. And has like a busking hat on the ground, even though there's fuck all for people around here. And also has attached almost like castanet type things to his feet, such that he adds to his own fiddle music with like a percussive clacking on the stones. It's honestly well done. It's nice music. And it cuts through the night in a pleasant, immediately attention grabbing sort of way. He makes no aggressive actions whatsoever, however.
Hand up against the glass. I can't stand flare. Is there a way up to the roof?
And looking about, yes, those skylights I mentioned open.
Yeah. All right. Work my way over to the skylights and try to like just hang one up and then I get it like my belly's hanging out as like as Chatterman's coming up. I'm like, can you give me a boost? The Ottoman kind of rolls over and use that to thank you, partner. And then roll.
Chance has a plus to reflex, I believe, right?
Yes.
Surprisingly.
Does he? Awesome. So he actually has, even though he's like, he can actually get into a place that maybe another person in his body would not be able to get to.
Yeah, it's all a little bit of an act, like
Yeah, and his double plus to skill as well would make him able to open that window effortlessly.
Triple plus.
Oh, you got triple. Oh, yeah, forget about it. Now that said, as Chance is lumbering about, Chatterman, as you come into view with him getting up onto a shelf, knocking things fucking everywhere to get up at the skylight, what would you do?
With that, I look up at him, like, trying to get in, and I'm like, Chance, you know that I'm not going to be following you up there.
He's got like the buttoned kind of like old timey like kind of like panning for gold kind of like pajama bottoms coming out the back.
What a sore sight to see.
Get a leg up.
Buttons are the real hero.
I'm assuming that you know about the turtleneck outside.
El último hombre. Yeah, I got him.
All right.
You go run your gab downstairs. I'll make sure nothing happens to the premises.
It does seem that the little miss is a little bit preoccupied. So if there's anything that you need me to do, I'm here to serve.
Mosquitoes?
We do not need to worry about it this time.
As Chance pops out of the roof, the roofing tiles up here are, those kind of classic Mediterranean, like beautiful terracotta shingles.
Nice.
And the roof is not just like a big slope. It's multi-layered. It has like little turret sections to it. It has like little terracing to it. It's beautiful, but it also makes it a lot easier to walk upon. It's not just one sheer slope. And as Chance gets outside into the cool air, not only does he hear the music immediately playing, but he would also see silhouetted against the moon winged shapes in the sky.
Ain't good. Well, didn't bring these babies along for nothing. Find myself a little perch to sit down and like it's almost like I'm like putting my boots on, so I just kind of like sit down on the ledge, and as I do that, I'll just like how like an archer on the battlements might like set up a bunch of bows ready to go. I'm just like putting the guns off to the side, making sure they're all loaded, just being like, here we go again. Gotta get my shit now. Like I'm already dirty, but I'm like now I gotta get dirty. Like pissed, kind of like it's such a pain in the ass in my day. Like I know this is what we're about, but it's just like, oh man.
As he is setting up, things he would notice. First of all, there's 3 winged figures up in the sky. And even though, again, their bodies are not huge, again, horse size may be a little bigger, the wings are enormous, enough to comfortably carry not only, again, a horse-sized body, but presumably rider and something else. These wyverns are winged, but they do not have arms. And their big, heavy, underslung legs each are holding something large and heavy. You can tell by the way it changes their momentum. Like an eagle with a very large salmon. You know what I mean? It changes their posture.
Their arms are the wings then in that sense, right? They don't have like the little Tyrannosaurus
Yeah,
Rex
they don't
arms.
have arms.
Yeah.
You get it. And so each of them is carrying one of these great weights underneath it, which is big, but not like enormous, right? It's maybe person-sized if a person were curled up in a ball.
So, what else can I make out of these things that they be carrying? Carrying.
With your single
I heard
plus
that from
the
up
sensor,
there. That was quite
With your-
clever.
With your single plus to sensory, you can make out a bit, but in order to get more detail, would you like to pull out your Sharps rifle? Because the Sharps rifle actually has a magical effect where sighting down it zooms in your vision.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah. They definitely do that. Like, so I have like I haven't quite like put the scope on yet, so I'm just using like the scope itself to like kind of zero in. And I just kind of look up and
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like at first I'm like looking through like the closed eye. And I'm like just staying. then I like
Close
do
up the other
this,
one.
and then, shit. Yeah. There we go. Okay, what do I see?
And as you peer up, you can see that each of the wyverns has a single rider, seems at a guess lightly armored, and is also carrying what could only be described as like a very medieval bunker buster. It is a solid weight, slightly aerodynamic, with a little bit of like a curved fin at the back. All of it is made of combination of hewn stone and a little bit of leather that has been attached to it. And it looks like it's just meant to just punch through whatever is directly below it.
Is there a way that like I could kind of like precision shot a moment that would make it detonate up in the sky?
It does not necessarily look like an explosive. It looks like almost
just
like
drop.
a very
Yeah.
engineered catapult stone, but just meant to drop down and punch through whatever's below.
In that
Because
case,
of that, yes.
would it be possible, since like these are pretty heavy things, that if one was to kind of like do a kind of glancing shot to like one of these birds, wyverns' legs, that like would it lose grip on one of them, such that like the weight of the thing then coming out of its one arm, then would pull it to then like kind of make it hit another one and then move them off to like the side or something like that,
Hit
right?
another one would be really, really tough. But in terms of getting one to like loosen its grip or get swung out, that seems quite doable. It's a far shot. Triple plus skill makes that a lot more doable. They are wheeling and whirling in a slightly difficult to predict way, but you have a really good shooting position. The one thing I would note is that while they are wheeling up high in the face of the moon, they are slowly coming lower. And they're kind of honing in on the location.
Well, we're just gonna have to wait. And it's like I kind of set it up, and I kind of put the rifle on my leg, and I lean up against the terracotta, and just kind of like wait for an opportunity where it seems like it's a sure fire hit, and then
Yeah.
kind of I don't want to be the first blood, but you ain't in the right neighborhood. And just and maybe hold an action until it gets within like I'm confident that I won't miss area.
Absolutely.
To do that, to like I don't necessarily want to like hit the thing. I want to hit it so that it like loses its grip and maybe even like previously
Maybe even
explained.
takes out another if you can,
Yep.
right? Yep. And despite all of what we've seen of Chance, this is something he can do. This is something like waiting, the patience, taking his time, lining up the shot, giving them a little more time to come in. When that perfect shot comes in, are you taking it immediately?
Yeah, but not yet.
There we go.
Ready.
And before Chance takes his shot, let's jump back to Chatterman and Aldona. First, Aldona through the viewpoint. Reason being is that as Annie Charlo is going down, you can see her eyes kind of like looking around, seeing all the damage. You see her focusing on all the things you knocked off while she's going down. You see that she pauses and looks back up towards the entrance and kind of like hurries up and sticks her head out. And through the viewpoint, you can see her looking, and you can obviously hear her with your actual ears as she goes, "What's that music?" And this would be the point at which Aldona notices it as well. Her casting obviously took her ears off of what's going on, but she can now hear that the fiddle playing outside, accompanied by those rhythmic, almost tap shoe like castanets.
And do the castanets, does it like evoke what we're supposed to be looking for when it came to this device?
Absolutely. It has an arrhythmic but rhythmic clack to it that has this. You know when you hear like a really sophisticated beat and you can't really put to words why it's so satisfying, but it is. It's similar in that nature, and they both feel of the same drummer. Maybe not literally, but culturally for sure.
So I'm still keeping my viewpoint on her, but using her senses. Instead of focusing on what's outside, do I hear absolutely anything similar from anywhere else in this room? Like it's almost like, is it calling to them?
Viewpoint only gives you her eyes. You have to use your own ears. Though fortunately, your ears are a lot better than hers.
Mm, okay.
If you want to try to make Viewpoint give you her ears as well, though, and let you hear through her ears, that leads us into something called energy work in Enclave, wherein you can make any ability, any magical thing your character can do, work slightly differently by adding to the paired action and doing more with it and putting a twist on it. And so effectively putting in extra effort to get extra payoff. And so if you can think of a way while you have Viewpoint up to do some cool evocative actions as Aldona that would metaphorically make it make sense for Viewpoint to affect your ears, then that can happen. You want me to give you a moment? I can check with Chowderman first.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He's behind you playing like the tabla.
I only
Chowderman,
do that on
you've seen-
Saturdays.
And Chowderman has seen Chance pop out the skylight. He is not privy to seeing all of the flying figures above, given his angle. But what would he like to do from here? He can also hear Eddie Charlo's voice from down below. What's all that music?
With that, from that window, can I also look out at the
music player.
criminal, the turtleneck,
Yeah,
Okay.
the no good.
the no good? With that, I'll take a glance, but see that they've kind of set up their busker hat in front of our establishment. A little bit curious, but at the same time, I will wander around the room and look for like the dustiest areas, the areas that have not been touched in the longest times, and see whether or not I can specifically find that item. But I do spend a little bit too long with every item, right? Like, like almost as if I kind of want to know the stories behind, like where did this come from, or how was this created. So I'm slightly distracted, but I will kind of like
Oh yeah. You find
look around
you find all
the third
sorts of
floor.
fun things. You find a compass in the shape of a turtle. You find like a little hamster wheel looking thing that has like a perpetual motion machine running on it. A little while after that, you find what looks like a billiards table with a map on it, and all of the balls are instead little clouds shifting over the map. But then you also find something else, which is not that Chatterman would know this yet, almost identical to the thing Aldona found below. This strange rail post looking thing with the silhouette of a chess bishop, slightly transparent, gleaming gently with little like branches that have been plucked off of it or like pulled out from it to allow for things to hang upon it. The thing that would bring him to this, however, given that he's taken the time to linger with the cool things he's finding, is not only does he hear that deep cello note now for the first time, but also he would hear the clacking of the musician outside with his fiddle and his castanets tonally match the pillar, and the pillar itself is making a faint syncopated clacking to match him. You may have remembered me saying that Aldana would see these like shifting smudges when she looked at hers. This one has one of those as well, but it's much larger. And before Chatterman's eyes, the smudge is getting bigger.
All right. Unlike Aldona, who doesn't trust anything, I'm the opposite, where I will just simply grab this pillar.
And it is very heavy, wildly heavy. Like so heavy it's hard for you to even tip it.
All right. Given that I've heard the clacking and also this, I think I would I'd look up to the skylight. I'd yell out to Chance, say, "Chance, my boy, do you need anything?"
Oh, damn it. I'm fixing to do something pretty dumb up here.
That's my boy. And with that, I would start to head back down, knowing that this kind of like things are starting to fall into place, and I'm looking to actually speak to not Ancharlo but Aldona.
Yep, absolutely. And speaking of which, Aldona, ideas on that energy work? Do you have something for it?
Yes. Just at the core of my people is kind of a sense of like sacrifice and suffering to, obtain things. So I'm not to the point of blinding myself, but while I'm still focusing through her, like I bring my hands up and I literally just start causing pain to my eyes. Kind of the idea that because when you're more blinded, your other senses pick up from it, and just see if I catch even the faintest shift into her hearing.
Yep, you would those little swimmy lights would spring up in front of your vision as you dig your thumbs into your eyes. But as you do so, in the same way that when you see through someone else's eyes, you get to use your own much better sensory. When you hear through her ears, you get to use your own much better sensory as well. But still, like you said, she might be able to pick up things or hear for things. So you're using your good ears through her ears and what they are aware of. And because of that, you would also hear down below the deep cello note. You'd also hear the clacking. You'd hear it syncopated too with the music outside. And you'd hear it from two different locations down in the basement. And you'd hear it getting louder as well.
All right. With that, like, I'll immediately break off. Like, I've gotten the sense that I need. So it's like Chatterman's coming down the stairs. You see me just bolt down even further into the basement. And just very accusingly, I'm just going to demand to know what these devices are.
And Annie Charlo recoils slightly. She says, "But they're nothing. They are there to recharge my artifice. They're there to provide power to them."
Where are they from? How long have you had them? Like, I am grilling
I made
her.
them. This is one of mine. I've held these devices for ages. They attune themselves to a given object.
Listen, woman. They sound like that. Like, I am fucking brutal with her.
And you see that she tears up. So she says, I don't know why they're doing that. I hear it too now."
Ugh. And I just I abandon her because now I feel like, okay, all of my mistrust in her is completely misplaced. She's like, to me, an idiot, right? So okay, she's no longer the threat. She's too stupid to be the threat.
Get your shit together.
Yeah. So I turn around and I'm going up the stairs. I probably bump right into Chatterman, who probably was coming down. And like, assuming you hear those things, do you tell me that you heard the other one?
Yeah, what did Chatterman say?
Heavy, rhythmic, and blurred. Like a good drinking night, there's something upstairs that I think you should see.
That you should have heard. Rhymes.
I look at you for a moment, and I'm so disgusted with her, and you were flirting with her, and I almost give you the same disgust, but I just push past you because it's like, yeah, you belong with her.
And
I'll follow you right up.
Yeah, and as you hurry upstairs, you would hear Annie Charlo's squeak behind. But what if someone comes through the front door?
You should probably stay with us then.
And you hear her scrambling to come up the stairs. Aldona is the first one to reach the charging node on the second floor. You see it bright, you see it gleaming, you see that giant smudge, which now distinctly forms a muddied human silhouette.
Oh, hell. I literally, say that. Just, oh, hell. Okay.
It reminds me of that, and then you cut him off.
Yeah. Okay, so I did not touch one previously. Is there absolutely any basis in my background of stolen artifacts and stolen knowledge that gives me now any sense that this is any kind of teleportation device or manifesting thing or whatnot?
You have that +1 to intelligence. Plus, you've been investigating, you've been looking. There is almost no doubt in Aldona's mind that this is a teleport of some kind. And there's another clue, too. She said that this attunes to objects that it charges. And if she was trying to figure out what was going on with the clacking stone, she may have tried to charge it.
Okay. I just yell down the stairs. How many more are there of these?
She says, I have 10.
The sound that comes out of my throat is almost guttural in its disgust for this woman. And it's not deserved. I'm not a people person.
Doesn't matter at all.
I'm yelling where and immediately going to the next one and the next one as she tells, no matter how.
Yep. And she would say there's 3 on the second floor, there's 4 on the first floor, there's 3 in the basement. But Aldona notices something. Only one of the ones on the 3rd floor is doing this. The other two are off. They are dormant.
Okay. I am
And same
definitely
too,
at
on
a
the first
reckless
floor,
point.
she did not hear the telltale sounds from them at the very least. Pardon me.
Okay. Yeah.
Is this going to be a problem, Aldona?
Going to be. We're in it. And yeah. So whichever, like, I almost feel like if this object has been lost for some time, I'm going to be investigating these charging stations that are in corners, buried, the ones that are like forgotten in a way.
Yep.
And just
Off to the
start.
sides. And at the very least, something that makes this a little helpful is that these charging nodes are important to her shop. Like she needs to put things up and charge them up, and so they're at pretty central locations, and there's not a lot of clutter around them.
Okay.
And as Aldona is racing between them, it does seem like only 3 are activated, which presumably means she only, if Aldona's theory is true here, she may have only brought the clacking stone to these 3 at various points.
Okay. I basically just, yelled to Chatterman, like, go to this one, search the immediate area, look for storage, things, like, look low, look high, don't look at eye level. She would have found it there. I just kind of bark these orders of how to...
As Aldona is yelling upstairs, however, Enicharlo would hurry over to Chatterman and actually bury her face in his chest, and she says, "Why is this happening? Why is this happening?"
Bad things happen to good people.
If
And
you
also bad people
if you
as
don't
well.
slap her, I will.
Jeez.
Send her looking.
Enicharlo would whisper, "Please don't slap me," and she like smacks a nearby shelf to make it sound like it.
I smacked her good. with that,
What is happening?
no, I say that pretending
Yeah,
that I smacked
I
her
know,
instead
I
of
know, I
actually.
know.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And
Right.
And as you do so, she says, "Thank you." And that said, the one that Aldona was yelling to him is the one on the
Yep.
second floor, and
Yep.
this one not only now has that big smudge at full size, but it's also becoming more defined, and you can even see its hand is reaching out as though to press on the like inner glass, so to speak, of the charging node. You can tell by the armor, you can tell by the profile. This is a Janoran soldier, 0 doubt.
All right. As he's phasing in, right? So is this like a closed like a closed test tube?
Yeah, you can think of it again like imagine a 4 foot tall chess bishop had a person kind of like blurrily trapped inside of it that was reaching towards the edge.
Okay. All right. Um, with that, I will immediately go to one of the shelves, try to knock it so that a whole bunch of just crap falls all over it. So whoever phases into this, they're going to be already kind of like in the middle of a mountain, pretty much.
Oh, Home Alone.
Absolutely. And Aldona, assuming you're going for the other active ones, is that true, or are you just trying to check all of them?
Yeah. Again, prioritizing anything that is not like, I know you said they're pretty central, but anything that like upper floors tend to have crap, lower floors have crap. People,
Yep.
away from the traffic.
Lower floors for sure.
Also, the first one I'm going to, though, knowing that these are going to be likely teleportation devices, the next thing I'm going to be looking for is a way to disarm them.
Yep, absolutely. In that case, rushing downstairs to the one that you were going to see through her eyes, you would see again the blur is way more distinct.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite as crisp as the one upstairs, but it's distinct, right? And you can make out the Janoran armor on it. Again, I've described the way it looks. I've described that it has like little bits and trinkets dangling off of it. What would Aldona be trying to do to disarm it before we jump up to Chance?
Okay, so obviously it's not so simple as like this isn't like high tech things. These are magic things. So, do I have any sense, like from the briefing, things like that, about like how this society would be tapping into things like ley lines or what they believe is the source of magics?
Question. I will give you that for sure. The Janoran are not a high magic society in most cases,
Mm-hmm.
but all magic they have is drawn from oaths.
Ooh.
They swear allegiance, particularly to their royal bloodline, once again. And it is suspected that the reason the clacking stone is so important is it has some tie into the royal bloodline.
Okay. And our mission was to protect her, not the artifact necessarily.
Give them the artifact.
Good.
Get
Okay.
it out of
Perfect.
there.
So if I believe that there's enough like corporealness to this creature at this point, I'm at least going to try to convey the concept of if we find it, we'll give it to you, you know. And if it's too early to
saying this aloud,
I will
or are you going to be
No, I will say it aloud, clearly, whatever I can do to say it to this soldier if he can hear it. It's just more of a safeguard at this point.
You do not see any reaction of understanding from the soldier, but you do see that he's gotten crisp enough that his hand is starting to reach out to, like, again, touch the inner glass of the node he is in.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'll give you a moment to think because we got to go to Chance. And Chance, after that brief shouted exchange with Chatterman, you hear some random yelling down there. The wyverns have circled in lower, and finally you have a perfect shot. Are you taking it right the hell away?
Not that I'm here, but hold on a second. but long shadows and bad choices. Blammo!
Well done.
The bullet crashed through the night sky, and you can see up above one of the wyverns jerks wildly as its one of its heavy talons uncouples from the drop weapon it has. It like lurches off to the side, and the wyvern that was flying next to it has to do kind of like an undignified scrambling flap through the air to get out of the way. And as it lurches, it lets go of its drop stone, which goes spinning off and makes an awful like sound as it goes like whistling down through the air, like a falling bomb almost, but clearly tuned to the point where it's trying to make noise as it screams down towards the ground. Where it hits behind any Charlo's business. You hear an awful, like, gut-wrenching thud where it slams into the ground out of sight. But now the other two wyverns are trying to circle around. There's one that has been completely thrown off kilter, but the other one is starting to dive. What actions are you taking the moment after you shoot?
Merry Christmas. Well, now it's on. You know what I mean. So I'm gonna reload, of course, and then if I can get another shot off, I want this time. I'm just gonna go right for the wyverns. This one, now pulling off that same shot seems unlikely. So this time I'm just gonna go for the thing's head.
Yep. Diving one, veering one, or the one that had to dodge out of the way.
The one that had to dodge out of the way is currently predisposed, I think. So the one that's making the more direct assault, in a sense that like if I can hit him and so he can kind of crash off the side. The idea is just like to get him off to all hit along the sides of the building, you know.
Absolutely. And this time, again, with triple plus to sensor, you reload incredibly fast. Bring up the gun.
One plus to sensory, 3 to skill.
Oh, pardon. Thank you. I mistook. Yeah, with skill. And this time, as you fire, you're going right down the barrel, and you can actually see the spurt where your bullet enters the wyvern's eye and explodes out the back of its head. It immediately, its beating wings kind of go limp as its rider, in a panic, tries to like steer it off to the side, but no good. Instead, it just kind of like tail spins off course, but its drop stone is plummeting straight towards Enicharlo's business, and you hear the awful whistle as it comes plunging towards you. What do you want to do?
I call out, 12. Like, coordinates to where this thing is gonna hit, because it's like I ain't stopping that, you know. I hope you got insurance or whatever.
What will he do afterwards? Because obviously he still has those two other wyverns, one of which still has a drop stone. The one that he shot hasn't impacted yet, but he has enough skill that he has a lot of speed on it, like hand speed on his side, if he wants to do other things before it hits.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna get like a situational awareness of what's going on. Like the dude on the street with the castanets and like that? Like, what's he up to? Are there like power lines and stuff like that that I might be able to like do an indirect shot where I could hit one of these things so that it like like an electrical wire could come down and just like little things like that.
Excellent question. Two things to answer your first one. One, the guy on the street, even with the sound of gunfire and the slamming of the stones, he is still playing and still dancing with his little clacking castanets. Second of all, there are no power lines here, but many, if not all buildings, with the exception of NH Harlow's business, have a large balloon tethered to the top of the building, kind of similar to like a dirigible, but it looks like it has a little aerials and stuff coming off it. It looks like a home maintenance sort of thing, comparable to a power line, but of some strange technology with which Chance is not familiar.
Well, so the like I get like if I shoot the back side of one of them, that would like that like to like let the air out of a balloon such that like the balloon would shoot like this way, you know what I mean? Yeah, and like I want to hit it in such a way that like it would send the balloon flying in a way that like it would like almost like putting a parachute wrapping around this other guy, you know what I mean? Like so
Okay,
like the
excellent. To do so, however, you would have to hit the balloon from the back, but you do have a tool for that job.
Yeah. So the ricochet, whatever shot,
Yeah,
what is it
trick
called,
shot.
right? Trick shot. Yeah. So I look around, I see like a stop sign, and then like a eat at Joe's, and then like like a little mannequin, like Bob's Burger thing or something like that, and I was like that to just multiply the square root of the fuck it, bang, like ping pong, bang, ping pong.
Oh, that's awesome. The bullet shoots around, bounces back, hits the balloon from behind, and you can hear that at first it's like a, and then it opens up because presumably.
Wait, before it does that, like I wait, and I'm like, missed it. Then I like kind of like stamp on the like the floorboard or whatever. Then just like a little ricochet. Then it pops. Like, yeah, there we go.
And the balloon shoots off, untethered from the building as cables snap. And it. How would I describe this? It's less that the balloon pops and less that it kind of shoots around like we're used to. Think almost like a submarine spontaneously decompressing.
Oh,
just like
jeez.
boom, and it just launches out at incredible power and speed, highly pressurized. And
Takes
you
like
can
a
see,
laundry
an
line with
aura-
it, like.
Yeah, exactly.
My laundry.
And as this thing goes launching off, you don't get a moment, however, to see where it hits, given that the drop stone hits the building. It slams into the roofing tiles, not even 10 feet away from you, and the shrapnel off the roofing tiles like catches you across the side of the face, taking a few chunks out of you, leaving you bleeding, maybe taking off your hat, that sort of thing, and definitely making you hit the deck in the process. This would be pretty involuntary. Immediate follow-ups from Chance after this happens, though.
Oops. I gotta look around. And then I grab a hat first, and I was like, even though I'm like like my face is bleeding, I can like dust off my hat, but fix it up, and then I kind of like, well, there we go, and then I roll back in. I just roll into the hole that the bomb made, or that thing, and then get back in.
As you roll in, however, you would also hear a series of like pinging noises off of the roof tiles where you just were. You were being shot at as you rolled in and got inside just in time. But you also would then, fall through the hole and land on the floor. Or rather, you would land on the floor, but that has a hole through it as well. So instead, Chance drops 2 stories.
Like my suspenders get caught on like a loose beam, and
Yeah,
then
exactly.
that snaps that one, and I kind of fall down a little bit. Slam.
Yeah. Breaking the fall twice, he goes crashing down and only is spared dropping through to the basement, because there's another hole on the first floor as well, by the fact that the door that you sabotaged, or not the door, rather, that stack of things that you sabotaged earlier and that Chatterman set back up in place, fell when the drop stone passed and actually covered up the hole in its wake. So you land in a pile of junk instead.
Yeah, and I got like a drunk man, like when a drunk person falls over, they're sort of like less likely to hurt themselves. It's sort of it's like loose.
You're so limber.
And Chance's head is pounding. His body is like bruised and battered at a bunch of different directions, but he hasn't broken anything besides his Sharps rifle, which is bent completely in half underneath his butt from where he fell on it.
Betsy. Throw it to the side to pull out the 6-shooter, kind of like I spin it, like I try to do like a cool who did I fall like in front of one of them, like one of the two of the other characters,
Well,
like either Aldana or
I'm in the basement
Yeah,
still.
we're,
Yeah.
we're actually, you would have fallen pretty much directly in front of Enicharlo, the employer, for reasons we'll
right,
reveal
right.
momentarily.
So then as I kind of stand up and I give the look and I take my 6-shooter and I kind of do I try to do like one of these but then I drop it. I'm like fucking
Fall.
yeah, and then I look at my lady.
She faints.
I don't
and-
make any attempt to try to catch her. I just watch her
No,
go
I
down.
don't think you
Ooh.
But before we go further with that, let's jump back to Chatterman and then Aldana. Reason being, Chatterman, facing the materializing figure inside of the node, with Enicharlo clutching your arm. This is, again, a little ways behind in time from where Chance is. Actions you would like to take.
all right. So while this is happening, and this person is slowly phasing in, covered in a whole bunch of trash, I look towards one of the beaded, like a beaded curtain that like is a self-cleaning beaded curtain that like if you
Cool,
walk
I
through
dig
it
it.
automatically cleans you, right? And I'm thinking like, oh, I'm gonna try to use this to try to wrap around this this pawn or this this large chess piece. And
Yeah.
but while that happens, I hear from like calling from above, like quarter to 12, right? And with that, I realize that I'm right in the way of where that quarter to 12 would be. I immediately grab Encharlo, and then we both jump. But my timing was a little bit off, where it's like I jumped way too early, and then it comes through, right? And we're both kind of lying on the ground, like awkwardly.
Yeah, exactly. Like kind of bundle
And
issues.
I'm like, hold on, right? As it comes smashing through, and then with that, I look at, I see kind of like rolling from the hole, ping, 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 and then we see kind of like a Chance like kind of like fall like 2 stories down, get his suspenders caught, and fall forward. And with that, I kind of like, that is what I was worried about.
And Enicharlo hurries over and looks through the hole. She would see the failed gun flip.
The failed gun.
And then she would start to like swoon slightly right next to Chatterman and goes to faint into the hole.
I'm gonna try to grab her before she like falls right in.
Yeah.
While I'm with one hand, I point to Chance, and I said, I have a present for you. And I'll point right to where the flying wing machine is, right?
Yeah.
Where I had set it up a little bit earlier, where right, almost like right beside where you had landed.
And you would see the strange backpack with a little propeller sticking out of the top. Any actions that Chance would take after this? Would he even recognize that the nature of this gift or the implications of it?
Is it acetaminophen or whatever?
Just put it on your back, Jansen. And there's a button that you can press on the side. Enjoy.
Yeah, I'll try anything once.
It's upside down.
Yeah, don't remind me of Wink's Worth. I put it on. It kind of like barely fits. You know what I mean? Like, God, then like I accidentally hit the button while I've only got like one arm on. The other's fucking so.
Takes him off.
And if possible, like for like a future action, in that moment, like one of my 2 6-shooters maybe comes like out and gets caught, and like as it falls down, like it hits like the butt end of it, and then goes off, and then ricochets and like hits something important.
Well, you would only have the one revolver, and I don't know if you're gonna lose that.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll have to be more creative.
That is so Chance.
As he's dropping his revolver and it's going out, and we'll figure out what happens to that in a moment. Chatterman would hear the sound of like a thud on the roof and the sound of scraping on the tiles now. And as Chance goes up like through the hole that he created and out through the hole,
I just like bungee jumped in and out. Yeah.
Chatterman would immediately hear the sound of the as he shoots out of the roof, and then you would hear a man's voice saying something in a language you don't understand. And then you would hear the sound of as he sounds like he's shooting something after Chance.
I'll quietly get down to and Charlo and say,
She's coming
It-
to.
"It appears we have more turtlenecks."
What is? Why the turtles? Why?
Oh, I also found this compass that has a turtle on it. How appropriate.
And she says, "Oh yeah, isn't that one cute? Yeah, it's a lovely."
When you had
With
knocked her
that-
over, you also crashed into like a turtle aquarium. Where one of them's like, "We're free."
And Charlo kind of leans against Chatham and she says, "This is too much." This
If
is
you
too
don't
much.
mind, I'll take that turtle compass, right?
Mhm.
And with that, intentionally whip it down to try to get it as close to Aldona, and
Oh, nice.
just like
In that case,
just whip
do
this
your
true compass.
Yep.
Yep,
And it
yep,
goes.
yep.
You
Don't
have
worry,
you
don't
have
worry.
a
Yep.
hole, and then you also have like the scattered area that Chance landed on. But this is smaller, so it skips between that and gets to the basement. Before we go further with that, however, let's check in with Aldona. Other things you would like to try to deactivate this thing as the man's hand is reaching closer.
Okay, so not knowing precisely how to disable this one and all the other ones that potentially are portals into this place, because even if I get rid of this one, it's not going to stop them all, and by that time they'll probably be through. I'm gonna take a little bit of a risky gambit here.
Let's hear it.
Since the briefing showed us what this queen looks like with her armor, with her everything, I'm going to take extra time and extra care to, assumedly I can use the phantasm to transform myself, or can it
you
only
have the
be
ability Veneer to do that. Veneer lets you change the appearance of an
oh
or person.
or person? Okay,
do
that
that.
was my big
Yeah, you
question.
can
I
do
wasn't
that.
sure if I could. All right, so I'm going to try to look like this queen. I know I'm not going to be able to speak their language, but hopefully I can make certain amounts of gestures that will, like my whole gambit here is that I want to say that I've or imply that I've made an agreement with these people that they're going to give us the object, call off the battle in a way, but
Yep.
through hand
Given that you
gestures.
said you're taking the extra time,
Yeah.
you can make it a very believable one because you guys got an image on Sasuene before you came here, and as such, how old abouts is Aldona?
About let's say about 24, 25.
Yeah, exactly. So the woman whose vision like appearance she's assuming is actually substantially younger than her, maybe even as young as like mid-teens.
Okay.
But of course is heavily covered in armor, which helps.
Yeah.
It means that you mostly have to worry about the armor rather than her. And after adopting this grand appearance, the soldier materializes. And you can see it doesn't look like he's like falling out of the bishop or anything like that. It's almost like the bishop buzzes and the line between the line of its form, of its outline becomes hazy for a second, and he steps out of it. And you can see that he's a well-dressed, well-manicured soldier in fine armor. He's not massively heavily armed or armored. He's clearly here for more of a light commando raid, presumably. But as soon as he sees you, he drops low in a deep bow with his hand over his eyes. And you hear him say in his own language,
I just kind of do and then point up the stairs.
and he immediately hops to his feet, again still shying his eyes from you, and would immediately go hurrying towards the stairs. He moves quickly and efficiently, and you can see his head turning and his eyes scanning as he goes.
I
You
will
also hear the sound of another set of footsteps from the other of the buzzing nodes that were in the basement.
Yeah, I'm not going to hurry like he did. I have to approximate this regal bearing, or what I think is the equivalent of their regal bearing. So I'm going to make a bit of noise as I come up the stairs, like a heaviness, a presence to me.
Yeah.
And I'm basically heading for the outside, because what we need to do is get rid of that guy. Like, that guy is the one who's, to me, sounding the war drums in a way.
Yeah.
So I'm, whatever amount of things that I have to do to get through the debris around the things, I'm getting outside to that guy. so that he drops to his knees.
You would be intercepted by the other of the two soldiers who had teleported in, and you'd be alerted to him immediately by him dropping low as soon as you come into sight. Makorene adolota. Again, covering his eyes. Would this be a similar kind of like
Yeah.
clap point?
And
sort
if
of
there's
command?
any way to make it sound somewhat like that castanet sound that they were doing, if there was a very predictable beat to it or a much louder beat to it, I would do that, like a simple like, and then that
Yeah,
way.
exactly right. That would be like a slightly offset 3 beat. And he would hurry ahead of you, also making room for you and shoving things out of the way to give you more passage. This would also be the point, as he goes rushing upstairs, that something would drop through the air, glittering right next to you. It's small and easily catchable.
Oh, yeah, easily just.
You see,
As
it's
you
a
snatch it,
beautiful. Yeah.
yes, as you snatch this turtle compass in your hands, you hear my voice speak to you, almost as if I'm right beside you. And I'm sure you know what this is, as it is a gift from myself. And in it, it says, "Roof serpents, chance flies."
An
There's
excellent use of your waypoint, by the way, sneaking
Yep.
that in there. That was great.
there's kind of a slight head tilt to me, like as I listen, like, oh, like, um, and then I just drop it, like I got the
Yep.
message, so I
Yep.
let it go.
A little clatter upon the floor. And also you would pass by the gigantic drop stone that has embedded in the floor at this location, and like this is a solid stone floor, and it is embedded like 2/3 of the way into it.
Jeez.
Brutal sort of impact force.
Very
And as you make
effective.
your way to the first floor, the two soldiers are scanning. You can see that one of them comes to you again, eyes covering head, and says very quietly, again something in their language. Makreme audolota, capacetzo afritas. He points upstairs, and you can hear upstairs the sounds of Chatterman and Enicharlo's soft voices and footsteps. And these commandos are being very quiet, by the way. They are clearly not trying to be detected yet. But they point up towards the two sets of voices and footsteps.
I myself not being that quiet.
Quite.
This reminds me of.
Yeah. I give just kind of like, because I know that these are battle warrior kind of queens, so I give that kind of like and I go up first, like, because I know that they're not supposed to look at me, so I lead the way. I'm a queen. I'm a like, that's what we're about, so I'm gonna lead the way, and I'm specifically going to grab God, why can't I, the shopkeeper.
Yeah, Enicharlo.
And Charlo.
I don't give easy names.
Yeah, I know. I keep wanting to put a B in front of it. So when I get up there, I'm gunning for her, and I'm not going to hurt her, but I'm going to grab her by like the back of the clothing to firmly have her.
Yep. I should note that the commandos do not follow. Clearly, like
Good.
they kind of purposefully shy away. Obviously, these are warrior queens. They don't want to be hovering.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Chatterman, while Aldona is making her way up towards you, in the space between when you drop the turtle and when she arrives, other actions that you would like to be taking up here. Annie Charlo is, of course, still kind of gently clinging to you, clearly deeply regretting her life decisions. What would you like to do?
I'll first tell her that after this, there's nothing that a little bit of red wine can't solve.
She says, "Is that a blood analogy? Because I think that's likely all the red wine I'll have to deal with."
You can take it as it is. With that, I will also start scanning the room because I've heard that people might be coming down from the roof, so I'm gonna have it so that, like, anything that I can find, those orbs on, like, the billiard smoke orbs or whatever that are on the table, right? So that if I pull the right leg, that they can all topple over and perhaps home alone them.
That would work quite nicely, but it seems that none of the ones that are on the roof are coming in. They seem
Okay.
to be off chasing chance. That
Yay.
said, you do have one on the or on the second floor rather to deal with. That being the one that is trapped under the pile of junk that you've left for him. You can hear him like softly, presumably swearing to himself in his own language, and is trying to be quiet. as he's like worming his way out of all the crap that's piled atop of him. Annie Charlo, as she hears him, kind of her hands jump to her mouth, and she's clearly trying to not make noise.
Can I make out any of the words? Being well traveled, is there any way that I would know the Janoran language?
Well, let's get creative with this. Do
Yeah.
you want to activate Familiar Face? Because again, with the energy work, you can have the analogy between knowing someone from a past travel and knowing a language from a past travel. There's a connection there, but you'd have to think of how to make the paired action from Familiar Face, the thing Chatterman does to like initiate the magic, even if unknowingly, be something that befits this change in effect.
Hmm. Do these guys travel at all?
Well, given that they're here, presumably a bit.
But I mean though, like on their own though, outside of orders.
Yeah. Would the Enclave have given you this? Sure, I'll give you that. The Jane, the people of Janoran, are very well traveled as merchants. They cross many seas to peddle their wares.
All right, all right. Is there a way that I've encountered maybe a brother of one of these on my travels, as they are merchants?
That sounds plausible to me. Give me that, and I'm liking the direction this is going so far. Think about how you would initiate the Familiar Face, because normally Familiar Face is initiated like you did earlier with like, oh, it's you, hi. Think about how you can like bend it slightly to focus on getting that language.
All right. With that, I will start to head towards the one toppled under, and
Yep.
I'll say to them. I'll say to them. Ah, that is unfortunate that you just appeared into that pile. Do you need a hand?
And you can see that almost immediately a crossbow is aimed towards you. It's one of like the wrist-mounted crossbows, like you might see in Assassin's Creed. But he doesn't fire it; he just aims it.
Says, are you here looking for something? Something specific?
And you can see that he like sets his jaw slightly, and he would bring a hand to his mouth and in very broken metro say, "No talk." But I will give you this for the activation of Familiar Face. What would you like to do with your new knowledge of the Janoran language?
uh, I will very quietly say, you need not worry. We're not here to harm you. We're not here to stop you either. Give me some time.
What language will you be speaking that in?
Um, I'll try to imitate his broken metro.
Yeah.
So I will limit it.
Yeah. And as you do so, his eyes look to you. He looks to your cane that you have at in your hands, and he kind of extricates himself a little further, and he says, "You have 2 minutes."
Excellent. With that, I'll look over at one of the ever flowing hourglasses on the shelf, take note of it, and be like, all right.
Awesome. And what will Chatterman be trying to do? You've mentioned a couple of good ideas in terms of trapping and getting around, but obviously the clacking stone has still yet to be found. Does he have ideas on that, or what else does he want to try?
I'm lying to him. I'm buying time right now. So
right.
With that, I'm actually looking around the room, pretending to search for this item, but actually kind of like doing that, but also setting up should anyone try to ambush us, ways to encumber them further. As I myself am not a huge fan of fighting one-on-one. So
quite. And before we jump to Aldona, jumping briefly to Chance, whipping up through the air. As he goes shooting out of the top, guns behind him, or like left behind him, he would see that the great wyvern that was waiting on the roof snaps at him as he passes and misses. And the man on its back starts firing off a repeater crossbow. Like flechettes go shooting through the air. But he has quite a lot of upward speed, and is, given his triple plus to skill, starting to figure out how to steer this thing pretty effectively. What does he want to do from here? He has 2 wyverns, one on the roof below him with the rider shooting up, and the other in the air, initially coming down to land, but now redirecting to chase him.
Yeah, oh, holy Toledo! So as the so I've got the shootout skill, which I can like teleport my gun
You do.
back to my hand or whatever.
Exactly right.
But in order to like make that, and we've got like a kind of like a hard like a few like 10-15 minutes left remaining, sadly.
Don't worry, I
So
got you.
okay, so as the gun kind of hits, rather than have actually the gun in my hand as a way to like kind of skin getting the gun and making a shot, I would like to say like there's like this, and tell me how much of this worked. So like the idea is that as the gun hits, the bullet is gonna come up like in a weird angle up through the floors where the one wyvern is like standing there shooting up at me to like hit it's like the now precariously broken roof such that like he'd fall through the roof, landing on the billiard table, one of the 8 balls going into like the corner pocket, right? And then that bullet then ricocheting up towards me, hitting the bottle that I had stolen into my duster, and hitting right at the moment where it hits the lip, splitting the cork off, and the cork, because it's pressurized air, shoots the cork over to get the other guy, and I'm just like, wounded at it, you know what I mean? Like, and if I land on the ground, I'd be like, meant to do that, or something like that, you know?
Here's what I'll give you. Rather than a shootout, the dropping gun trick shot bouncing up, trying to knock out a section of the roof that was already weakened, I will give you that. The wyvern would kind of splutter and stagger and hiss as it slumps down inside. Additionally, a pressurized bottle cap can fly off by itself. And as such, with you haphazardly whirling through the sky, the cork shooting out and like plinking the other wyvern in the eye and pissing it off even more, completely makes sense. Would you be trying to land or get up higher?
I swig the bottle now that it's open. And I'm in where am I? I'm like in orbit.
You're above Enicharlo's shot by like 50 feet.
Yeah, by 50 feet. But like, okay, so yeah, I'll just let the device take me where it does. Like I'm just like I was trying to save this for later.
Chance up and away. But as he does so, inside, both Chatterman and Aldona, who are now both on the second floor, would see the great wyvern spill in through the broken roof. Enicharlo, despite herself, gives a shriek of utter terror. Immediate follow-up, and also, of course, like the things would go everywhere. Like shelves would fall, tables would collapse. And of course, the 8 ball would go into that corner pocket. Though, admittedly, the rest of the billiard balls would go spilling out across the floor. Follow-ups first from Aldona in her disguise.
All right, so specifically, I am, without killing myself, killed by this like flailing wyvern, whatever happens to him. I want to claim. My God. the shopkeeper. Yeah. Why can I not keep that name there? So I am very determined stalking towards her. As I push, like if Chatterman is still near her in any way or protecting her, I'm pushing you to the side and then grabbing her. And I go, little mosquito. And I say it like very like accented, but still in Metro, right? So hopefully you get that message, and I just grab her roughly.
With a spirit of +1, right?
You would pick it up. You would pick up it's her. And Enicharlo would like try to scoot away, but obviously bump up against a shelf. And even though obviously Aldona is not strong, right? Enicharlo is so scared that she kind of just goes with the hand. Yeah. Chatterman, actions you would like to take?
I had like, I heard you coming up the stairs, and I had kind of like my hand on one of the ottomans, right, getting ready to like charge and try to trip you. But the minute you say the mosquito, little mosquito thing, that's when I let it relax, and I have it kind of like kind of calm down in some ways. With that, I'll very carefully, I'll kind of like put my hand on Charlo's shoulder, and I'll say, let it happen. Just let it happen.
She goes to initially close her eyes and then just kind of blinks up at Aldona, looking utterly terrified. I should also note, by the way, that Chatterman, you would feel the billiards kind of like gently bumping against your feet as you are kind of like putting your hand on her shoulder.
I look over also that I say, it does appear that we are almost out of time, as the hourglass, eternal hourglass, has also shattered from the weight of the wyvern that has
Wyvern
crashed
blood.
through
Perfect. Yeah, I will note, by the way, the wyvern, even the wyvern itself, has calmed down at Aldona's appearance. It and its rider
the.
are
Ooh.
kind of like moving off to the side. Their heads are low, and the rider is even shying the wyvern's eyes with his hand. However, as you lift up Enicharlo, she's still thinking Aldona is not who she actually is, but
Let it
just kind
happen.
of mouthing, like, wordlessly mouthing things.
I shake her because if she's trying, because I know she's a magic user too, so I make sure that she's not doing any kind of incantation or like activating something. And I again in very because my village has its own language that's independent of Metro, and it took a long time to
Yep.
learn Metro. So I'm gonna drop back into that kind of sense of like broken language, what that was like,
Yep.
and I say, you stole from us
She nods,
important
squinching up her face.
one chance. Give, or all gone.
And she would pop out one of her giant hoop earrings and kind of blow on it, almost like a child blowing a soap bubble, right? And you would see that, like, it looks like it's almost like it opens up like a little mirror or like a little window that she kind of looks through. You see her frantically looking through. It seems that it's like a notebook almost, like lines upon lines of text that she sees through her hoop earring. And as she mutters to herself, not there, couldn't have been there. Maybe it was when my assistants went. Maybe that's they haven't been hidden for so long though. But and as she is muttering and muttering and muttering to herself, Chatterman,
uh, the only thing I can do is just maybe try to support her as much. I'll say, calm down, calm down. You can do it. And I'll try to help her out, kind of, you know, the cane perhaps also can soothe, but yes,
and as you do so, um, Chatterman, with his +1 to spirit, would feel something. In
I
the
kind of.
same way, oh
mm,
yeah,
Oh yeah, no, continue.
in the same way that the soldiers are deferent to Aldona in her disguise. They have a reverence to them. You know what I mean? They have a worshipfulness in their behavior. You detect a similar feel by your feet.
With that, I look down to one of those clouded balls uh, that were on the billiard table, and I will reach down.
And you would recognize the dull appearance and the faint striped white lines.
With that, while she's panicking and putting it through, I will very carefully go over and kind of put it into her hands.
Her eyes would flick to Aldona, and every one of the commandos in the room would, even though they keep their eyes not looking at Aldona, they are still looking at her. And you'd see them tense up. And she says, "It's yours, please take it."
I still stare her down. And then very like I'll just raise my hand like this and then pluck it from her like that.
And the moment you do so, you would all feel your Enclave badges magically resonate wherever they are hidden on your persons, informing you that the mission is done. Final actions, beginning with Chance shooting through the air, being chased by two angry wyverns.
My Enclave badge is like one of the buttons that like opens up the back flap or whatever.
Awesome.
And like as I go down, I realize that like one of the shots actually hit me. Like I got like a bullet hole. Like like I'm like, oh man, I didn't even realize I got shot there. And I look over and I look down to Aldana, who's like clapping dactylic hexameters and shit. I thought we were going to Benihana after this. Uh, and I look up and I see the helicopter thing just like slowly ah, shit. But then like I teleport out back to the place.
And final action from Aldona with the clacking stone in her hand and her commandos quickly moving in.
I will like give another just hiss of hatred, but then very gently set her back down and then turn away from her suddenly. Like, you're beneath being killed by me.
The commandos again shy their eyes. Would you offer one of them the stone?
The one that was dealing with Chatterman,
Yeah.
I would like tell it like as it's averting its eyes, I'll like reach beneath its hand and go like just a kind of rise up and then like bestow it like an honor onto him.
He gets low and bows deeply and presses it to his forehead in a sign of profound respect. And final actions from Chatterman.
I will go to the quivering
Ancharlo on the
Ancharlo,
ground.
right on the ground, and I say, "It does appear that you could use some help cleaning up. Give me 2 days, and I'll bring the wine."
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. And she clutches your side and cries softly into your coat as you would teleport away. And on that note, we will end the mission.
The turtle
Yay.
walked away into the sunset.
I'm free.
And that is an Enclave mission in practice.
Yay!
To give you the briefest summary. First of all, it's fun seeing players taking some more proactive action with making their own actions fail. That is a huge talent in Enclave. The more you do that, the more I give you. So that was really well done on all of you for doing that. A lot of people take a long time to pick that up. Some highlights, Aldona. First of all, that entire ending sequence with taking on the disguise, perfect. I loved it. The characterization, good cop, bad cop with Chatterman, perfect. Awesome stuff. Chance, your setup on the roof was actually really just smart tactical play. He is both cool and goofy, and the Holy Toledo line made me laugh. Also, really funny character. And again, you proactively made yourself eat shit, and so I could give you more.
Yeah, exactly.
And lastly, Chatterman. Chatterman was in many ways the heart and soul of this mission. God, Annie Charlo needed a friend on this one. He not only allowed her to be more useful, but did a great job doing team coordination, keeping allies in the loop. The familiar faces were smart. Good use of your walking stick. Just really strong Wanderer play all around. It's an indirect class, and you did a great job with it. And the last thing I will specifically mention is focus words. I got the focus words filigree. That was the whole Charlo aesthetic. Howling Stone. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but also it gave me the idea for sound to be a trigger point to bring them in. And then bowling. One, the wyverns were dropping big fuck off rocks. Second of all, you were going after a stone that was hidden amongst a game. Third of all, how many of the nodes were there? 10.
12.
Yeah.
Only
12.
of which 3
10, right?
were still up. So you had to knock down the pins in order to stop people from...
Very nice.
That is how I used the focus words. Do you guys have final questions for me before we wrap this thing up?
How would we level up then at the end of that session?
Yep. So after each successful Enclave mission, your character receives 1 mercs, which is like a unit of currency that you can exchange for more gear. Which is fun. That's one way to progress. And second of all, after going on 2 missions, succeed or fail, your character levels to level 2. Then after another 2, you go to level 3. Then 3 to level 4, 3 to level 5, 4 to level 6, etc., etc., etc. And so this mission would make progress towards a level up. And if you intend on playing this character again, I would highly recommend noting down this mission in a mission log somewhere on your character sheet. We should name it. Do you have an idea for a mission name? It can be anything, as long as it's memorable and will make you think of this.
Slow and steady wins the chase. No, I don't know. a game of chance. I don't know. There's lots of. I got lots of ideas. But see, Chance is self-serving, so he's just gonna name it after himself.
Which is actually kind of great for this mission.
A game of chance.
Game of chance.
Bad hangover. Yeah.
I like a game of chance. I feel good about that one.
Sure, let's do it. A game of chance. You can put that one in your mission log on your character sheet, and then after you play a second mission with this character, you will level up. Now that you have played the game, do you have any final questions for me about it?
Only thing that really pops to mind is when you've had the opportunity to make a spell that's like modified in a way, like how I was able to listen through her ears to some degree. How not permanent, but how feasible is it to use that again or modify in other directions? Because sometimes I feel like GMs will say, "Oh no, you've branched in that direction," but how do you feel about that modification?
Something that we do in Enclave is we try to make sure that precedent does not rule. And so just because something worked once is not necessarily a guarantee that it will work again, but it is a very good bet. Because if you were able to convince me of it, then you could probably quite easily convince someone else of it. What I will say though is, especially as you become more comfortable as a player, you will see that your conduits will hold you to higher and higher standards for it, because it's important to give newer players a little more wiggle room. Whereas as you get more experience, we might be like, okay, give me more. I want to see more. I want to see more. And it's even better if you can like weave it in to the scenario at hand. So in summary, it is not guaranteed to work again, but I know many people who have a whole note sheet on their character document that shows them ideas for energy work that has worked in the past. So it's, as long as you're not expecting it to work, you can totally get similar stuff.
Awesome.
And if you want it to be guaranteed to work every time, when you level up, you can actually create a custom ability perk for one of your abilities to tweak it. And so saying a viewpoint can affect hearing is a perfect ability perk.
Nice. Very nice.
That was awesome. Yeah, Robby, thanks for running it. So
That's
fun.
great.
I had a blast.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you
really
so
glad I got
much.
To show you guys. And
Yeah, we're
I
glad we got to
will see
play.
you all. I will see you all later.
All right, and do
Have
not
a trails.
and don't forget to support the Kickstarter. It's running right now. And what does it end, Robby?
It ends on November 14th.
Go support indie. Thank you so much
Support
for being
indie.
here with us, Robby. This was wonderful. All right. You gonna say
Bye.
it? You gonna say it, Chris?
You gonna say it? You gonna say
Say it, Chris. Say it.
Oh, well, he also says it too, though, but ciao.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye. I'm just gonna.
Ciao.
Now this weird moment of like, okay.